Over the weekend in Minneapolis, as you saw, one mom had had enough and confronted Black Lives Matter protesters. She and her kids hid for hours during a standoff as an armed man shot at police. She shielded her kids from gunfire that included rounds into her kitchen. And then police finally shot the bad guy. Black Lives Matter protesters took issue with the shooting and memorialized the gunman. Here he is, Tekel Sundberg. In her words, it's not okay to memorialize him. Tekel, she said, tried to kill her and, as you saw, her kids. Trahern Cruz is here. He runs Black Lives Matter in Minneapolis. Good to see you, Trahern. Appreciate it. Does she have a point?
We in no way are condoning Tekle's actions of shooting, if that's what happened.
Do you have any reason to believe that that's not what happened? There's bullet holes in her door.
Not what happened, but I'm just saying we don't condone any harm that he caused anybody at that building. But by killing Tekle, that did not save Cassandra or her child's life. Cassandra was evacuated from the building at about 11 p.m. at night, and Tekle was killed at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. So the whole building was evacuated. There was nobody in the building but Tekle. And we just feel like in Faribault, Minnesota, that same day, that same night, a white man pointed a gun at two white men, ran in his house, then pointed his weapon at the police. But he was shot with rubber bullets and taken alive. And we feel the same thing should have happened to Tekle too, that his life matters just as much as the person who was in Faribault, Minnesota, and that Tekle could have been taken alive also. He was the only one in the building.
We have no idea whether
his parents were called to the scene.
We have no idea whether he could or could not have been taken alive. How are you? You're saying that the police decided to shoot him after 6 hours simply because he was black, even after he'd shot at them?
Well, was he shooting at them? He wasn't shooting at them at the time he was shot.
Okay.
He was hanging from what witnesses at the place told us is he was hanging out the window taking a selfie. So I don't think that, and if it's okay for the guy in Faribault to live, and he was pointing the gun
can't we all agree that when you shoot at innocent bystanders, as clearly he did, when you point your weapon at the police, you kind of give up your right to live. If you walk out of that alive, that's probably doing better than average, isn't it?
Well, I think the Buffalo shooter killed 10 people, and he was taken alive. Timothy McVeigh blew up the Federal Reserve building. He was taken alive.
And there's not African-American men who are taken alive all the time?
The Highland shooter was taken alive. And what they all have in common is that they're white, just like the guy in Faribault. So we're just saying if white people are able to be taken alive, then Tekle should have been taken alive. He was the only person in the building. He wasn't a threat to anybody. There was nobody else in the building.
I think about the Black lives in Minneapolis. I'm thinking about London Bean, Lalonde Garrett, Trinity Smith, 30 other kids under the age of 18 who've been killed. That's not the right graphic.
Dante Wright, Delae killed. All these people were killed that you have on here were killed by the Minneapolis Police Department.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand that. I'm thinking about all the kids who are under 18, right. And I'm wondering if a guy holding a gun and shooting at everybody in his neighborhood is really the best person to continue this debate in America.
I don't think it's about if a guy's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't think that Timothy McVeigh was a good guy. I don't think the Highland shooter was a good guy. I don't think the person who came to Buffalo, stalked out the store, came back and killed 10 elderly people was a good guy either, but they were all taken alive. From what I know, Tekle was a great guy.
Do we have any evidence, though, and I'm trying to figure this out, that the police had any racist motive in shooting Tekle?
Well, why did they shoot him? If I think they have the same training as the police in Faribault, Minnesota had, who took a man alive the same day.
Well, so is there ever a situation in which police are allowed to shoot and kill somebody that has a weapon?
I don't think Tekle was shooting at the police.
No. Is there ever a time though that there's going to be a black man who's shot and killed by police that you say, hey, look, the guy had it coming, he pointed a weapon at police, and that's what happens when you point a weapon at police.
Somebody is in immediate danger, but I don't believe that the police or anybody in the vicinity was in immediate danger when Tekle was shot at 4:30 a.m. after the apartment building was evacuated.
And I know you guys.
Again, that was 6 hours afterwards. Timothy McVeigh was found.
No, he
okay,
come on. He was pulled over in a traffic stop, and he never pointed a weapon at anybody. And they didn't even know Timothy McVeigh was the bomber at the time, and they didn't figure it out till a sketch later on.
Knew who the Buffalo shooter
your
was.
point, the Buffalo shooter is a great point. One you made. Hey, Trahern, we got to run, but we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Good chatting. Dr.